you looked at me, you saw success.
Yeah.
When I started, remember I'm 44 now, I started when I was 24. The obsession to succeed has pushed me to continually never fall into a safe zone. Push the boundaries, take the risks that I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
And that's what gave me an edge in my business. Not because I was the smartest, not because I was the best priced, because I was the one that would take the risks, treated the business of the customers as my own. Because of that, I did well.
What advice do you give other people?
My angle was that I was a 24-year-old girl in a space that was very dominated by much more mature people. Number two, that I wasn't uni trained. People love the underdog.
Yeah.
I am the highest paid reality star
Yes, you are.
in history.
I'm your host, Jane Lou, and welcome to today's episode of the Lazy CEO podcast, where we talk all things in business and personal development with some of the biggest trailblazers in the world. Today, I'm joined by one of the most influential people in PR in Australia, Roxy Jacenko. Roxy is a powerhouse entrepreneur and the founder of many successful ventures, including what's probably the most well-known PR agency in the country, Sweaty Betty PR, as well as Ministry of Talent. On top of that, she has built her own personal brand into a household name. Roxy is a woman that has lived many lives and has had more than her share of ups and downs. So I'm so excited to chat to her about it all. Let's get into it. Welcome, Roxy.
Thank you.
Very excited to get you here.
Well, hang on just a second. We've already established that the team in here comes to work on a Wednesday and a Friday.
Oh, yes. Roxy's already confronted everyone, including HR.
Oh, was that HR?
Yeah, the other chick in the back.
Well, HR, I need a serious discussion. Number two, you provide snacks.
Yes, and not the home brand ones, the good ones.
Oh, baller.
Yeah.
I've already told Emily, don't get any ideas. My
Yes.
worker, forget it. There are no
Bananas
snacks,
too.
and you are coming to work every single day. I'm not paying rent on the premises for it to sit empty.
I do hate that. The rent sitting empty.
Yeah, but I'm not happy about this.
Yeah.
You should own this building.
I know. We've been thinking about this.
Not thinking, doll.
We
Doing.
keep- do you know how many offices I've had? 7.
Well, that's
We
ridiculous.
keep changing our minds.
Well,
It's
you
like,
don't
this
change
is
your
fine.
mind.
Don't change it.
This is where the money is, bricks and mortar.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a real estate gal.
Tough. Yes, you are. You live in freaking Birchgrove on the water.
I know. I should.
Millionaires
I
Row.
should be a real estate gal. Okay, watch your space.
Yeah, back to you.
Back to you. Tell me. Oh my God. I don't know. Okay, so this is what I was saying. You are such an OG because I remember when my first business started and we were looking at PR and Sweaty Betty was already by my first business that failed. Sweaty Betty was already
What was
number
it?
1. It was called Fat Boy Group. We didn't even approach you guys because you're like too big and we're too we were too.
You should have. Maybe it wouldn't have failed. Come
No,
on,
I
doll.
don't know because it was a bad business model. So I didn't need false hope for you to prolong it longer. So it's
Yeah.
good that
Pull the
actually-
Band-Aid off.
Yeah, the best success we actually had, we did use a PR agency, and the problem was we couldn't afford it. So that probably is where all of our money went,
Yeah.
and we got so much press. I was genuinely impressed, and they gave us this false sense of accomplishment,
Yes.
but we didn't have sales.
I was just about to say, yeah, there were no sales. And that's an interesting point. You know, there were so many people who came to me when I was doing PR originally and they're like, oh, I've got this big idea. Can you PR it? And I'd say no. And they think, oh, she's a I'm not going to take your money if I
Yes.
know
Oh my God.
you can't actually get anywhere.
So another PR agency actually declined us for that business, and
That's unusual.
But I respected her for it,
Yes.
for her PR nous. So then business nous, and then I ended up for
I didn't know.
Showpo going with her
Did you? Yes, it works.
because I was like, I feel like
Yes.
she's got a better idea.
Well,
of
no,
the
she
market.
cares.
She's more commercial. She
She
cares.
didn't want
and
to
she
take
cares
your
about
money.
her own brand as well.
Yeah, see, most of the people in the market would say yes, 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 dollars and cents. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it only leaves a bad taste in that customer's mouth when they spend this money, they don't make any sales,
Yeah,
and then they go, oh, hang on, what do we do now?
Exactly.
You shut the business.
exactly. So
I'm back.
Well, yeah. So you're back in PR,
Housewifery was not for me.
right?
I'm no good on the washing machine. I'm
Yeah.
lousy on the hospital corners for
What did you
beds.
do in your housewife times?
Well, do you like my tan? I look like I'm from
yes.
Jamaica.
You're fab.
What did I do? I shopped.
Oh, great.
And shopped. It's the most boring existence. Remember, I worked since I was 14.
Yeah.
So going from...
I also worked at McDonald's. I was going to say our journey starts at 14 at McDonald's.
Were you on the drive-through?
I did drive-through and just front
Best
counter.
place to pick up a bloke.
Oh, well, no.
Oh, truly, doll.
I never did.
Oh, they like a girl in a uniform. What's wrong with you? I could write the 101 on that, but anyway, that's for another subject. That's another topic. So I was bored.
Yeah.
I left. I went to Singapore, suntanned, ate, drunk, put 18 kilos on.
Wow. But Singapore's really like, I love it, but it's very clinical. It's not a place, it does.
Can you stop being so politically correct? It's boring.
It's a bit.
Yeah. It is. It's boring. You know, look, the best thing
There's
about
only
it...
so much chili crabs you can eat. And
I
like
don't do chili.
overpriced alcohol. It's just...
Oh, well, trust me, 18 kilos of alcohol I
Yeah.
consumed in a year.
Yeah.
So I moved there, did nothing, and I was like, this is not for me. So
Yeah.
back to it.
Yeah, amazing.
And no one took my place. Do you know what? In 2 years, I don't honestly think
I don't think so.
anyone has been able to push the boundaries, take the risks that I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
And that's what gave me an edge in my business. Not because I was the smartest, not because I was the best priced, because I was the one that would take the risks, treated the business of the customers as my own. And because of that, I did well. I made serious money. But now everyone's safe and concerned and so politically correct. I didn't give a what you think about me.
Cancel culture is so big and
I mean, I
serious.
think I've been cancelled 500 times.
Yes, you can't get...
Hey, I'm the queen of reinvention, doll.
I love it.
Yeah, the poster girl for it.
When did you kick things back off?
About 5 minutes ago.
Did you?
Yeah, you're the first to know. No,
Yeah,
look,
no.
I've always had Ministry of Talent,
Yeah.
which is the digital agency which does influencers, which is an amazing business. You know, you're the conduit between the customer and the influencer. You take a commission. It's like a real estate business. It's commission-based. It's fun. It's in, it's out. So I've always had that. That ticks along very nicely. But PR, no one has had the nous in 2 years since I shut the doors of Sweaty Betty to keep pushing the boundaries, to take the risks, to do things that aren't, normal.
Yeah.
They're just happy to send out a product to an influencer and hope for the best. Well, that doesn't work. So I thought, well, I can't really do... Well, basically I spent all my money and thought it's time to get a job. So I started again maybe... How long ago, Em? Yeah, like a month ago. And it's funny, like a lot of my old customers like Stacks and Mermaid Hair have come back and like, please work with us. So, yeah, it's good.
That's amazing. And what's it like? Has anything else changed in that time?
Nothing.
Just more? Is it just more shifted towards more influencer, more social?
Yeah, but I think every PR agency has become so lazy. And I'm the most hated PR girl in the industry. But I'll call it like I see it. The be all and end all is not just sending product to influencers. There's still TV, there's still radio, there's still a newspaper, and there's still a magazine. Sure, they're not as powerful, but they're also a medium to reach an end customer. So I think that obsession with influencer is everything is short-sighted.
Yeah.
Because everyone's a influencer now. Everyone's forgotten about traditional. Traditional still exists. So you have to do both.
And I think the biggest difference is also like there's bucket ticking to be like, okay, it's sent to this many influencers with that much reach, this many posts, but it's like, what are people actually talking about?
But hang on a second, did you get any sales? Oh, no, I didn't. You know, the other thing that's so interesting to me at the moment, and I've forgotten what I was about to say.
I do that all the time.
Wow.
This is like, by the way, this podcast, we're going backwards. I feel like normally we could do this timeline. Now we're going to go backwards. We start like with you now. We're slowly.
I think it's better.
Back. I love it.
How about how I forgot what I was going to say? Anyway, back to you.
Well, you're very unconventional.
Yes.
I have a question.
Most.
So, do you think all PR is good PR?
Well,
Like, is it better to be talked about than not talked about at all?
Look, the reality is, look at Trump. I mean, I'm the most non-political person you'll ever meet. But at the end of the day, yeah, all PR is good PR because, look at where he is now. Second time he's been re-elected. He's been re-elected. Second time as the president of America. Like him or loathe him, he has maintained a consistent cut through in terms of being in your face. And that obviously helps. So yeah, I mean, you don't really want to wake up and read about yourself doing the wrong thing, but at the same time, it keeps you relevant.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can use Jackie O as an example. All of a sudden, she's everywhere for the wrong and the right reasons. Well, 1 minute she's saying she's at the Betty Ford clinic, the next minute she's, somewhere else. So I guess what I'm trying to say by that is she's happy to express the highest highs and the lowest lows. And with that brings in more people, more eyes, more listeners. So yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
And I think you have to take the good with the bad. I mean, I'm the queen of that, aren't I? dead.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you really experienced it all.
Yeah.
I do say that about social media that like, sometimes I'm like, I kind of want this to end up on the bad side of Instagram or TikTok so it goes more viral. Sometimes I'm like, oh, there's no negative comments and it's got no views and no
don't
reach.
worry. Look on mine. There's plenty of negative comments. Plenty. So, yeah, look, I mean, I think you have to take the good with the bad. And the reality is it's better to be spoken about than forgotten about.
I like that you're using it as also a platform to help people because like so you talked about the Ozempic overdose.
Wow.
Can we talk about that?
Wasn't that a beauty?
But like, I feel like that would have actually helped so many people.
It's so interesting. I was so desperate. I'd put so much weight on. Like I literally would have to undo my jeans when I sat in the car because otherwise I'd like pass out because I was so tight. And I got sucked in by it. I believe Instagram. I'm a PR girl. I believe like, oh, well, this person's doing it, that person's doing it. I've got to do it. So, of course, I bought it. I tried it. I took 1.8 hit, which was 4 times the amount in the first go. Most normal people would take 0.5 or something. I took 1.8. And I was like, you know what? I'm so sick of everyone having this, oh, no, I don't do it. Own it. If you do it, own it.
Yeah.
Have I got fake tits, if you ask me? Yes, I do. Is there anything original left on my chassis? Absolutely not. Oh, my fingernails. But that's it. Everything's been done. I am happy to own it. I'm not about this. I'm going to pretend I haven't had liposuction. I'm going to pretend I never took Ozempic and I go to the gym every day and I sweat it out twice a day. Stop lying. And that's a problem that's become something on social media. You'll pretend.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy for Em to like spruce up my hair a bit when it's looking a touch thin with a face tune or whatever it is. But I'm not going to change my entire face because then when I go somewhere, they're going to be like, she looks different.
Yeah.
So it's become something that for me, I'm very call a spade a spade. It's black and white. Not many people have got that anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah, and I think that's such a good use of your platform.
Yeah, well,
That's
look,
amazing.
I'm very, very call a spade on my thing, and people either like it or loathe it, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
I never have. And if I cared, I'd be crying in the corner 24/7.
I mean,
literally.
I think honestly, I think it's like you've got such a good attitude to like an outlook towards it all. Like you just seem so naturally optimistic, and I think that's what you need. That's what you need to be an entrepreneur, and I think
100%.
to be in the spotlight.
Also remember, the aim was never a spotlight. The aim was to be rich. And I'm not afraid to say it. I didn't go to work in the morning because I think this is the best job in the world. It's like prostitution without having sex doing PR. Quite literally. You're selling your soul every day to get that story up, to get that product on Ariana Grande, to have the hair tool from Mermaid Hair in the right celebrity's hand. But at the end of the day, I never did it for stardom. I did it for the fact that I never wanted to want. I wanted to have whatever I looked at. I mean, there's still a plane that I'd like. Bombardier 8000 would be great. That's why I had to come back to work. Yeah. But the reality of obviously the reality of being an entrepreneur is take the risk. And there's not many people who are willing to take the risk. I've had things that have failed. Do I use the word fail? No. I used the word that it wasn't successful, but what I learned was, okay, what not to do. We opened a social content agency. Did the best content under the sun, but at the end of the day, couldn't make any money. The equipment was expensive, the photographers were expensive, so why am I doing it? Was it a failure? No, it wasn't. All of a sudden, within one building, I had a PR agency, I had a digital agency, I had a content creation agency, and it was a dream, but it wasn't profitable. But I had to take the risk as an entrepreneur to be able to offer that service. With that came other clients from a PR perspective. So there's lots of things that you'll do as an entrepreneur, which may be not profitable, but at the end of the day, what they do for you is they may bring other eyes in.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like my books. I've never read a book in my life. I think I've got 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
Why did I do it? Because it opened the door. I was the only PR girl with books. Why did I do Celebrity Apprentice? Probably for the same reason you do Shark Tank.
Oh my God. They asked me to be in that season and I was like, I will have a 2-month newborn at that point.
Well, so?
And I also was I have a scare of I have a fear of losing.
Oh, well, look, yeah, I played a win.
We could have been like
I played a win
head-to-head.
doll. Yeah. Oh, wow, that was an interesting experience. But why did I do it? Because it was an opportunity to expand my platform. Yeah. My platform, for me, being my work. I wanted to be that one publicist in Australia that everybody knew.
Knows. And that you've done that, yeah.
But with that, you take every challenge that comes your way. Books, I've never read a book. TV, SAS, jump out of a chopper like an idiot. Last for 6 hours. Yeah. I am the highest paid reality star.
Yes, you are.
In history. 6 hours. I tell you, I made a mozza.
That's amazing.
All I had to do was jump out of a chopper.
I know, but you
backwards.
You found the PR spin on that. I love
Correct.
it. But yeah, I think people these days, like, I think people don't, I'm probably even guilty of it. As your business grows, you get into more of a safe mode and you don't take enough risks.
See, I've never been
constantly
safe.
doing that.
I've never been safe. I have too big a fear of failing and not having money in the bank that I have never, ever got to it's really weird. I guess because there's so many detractors that I attract that say nasty stuff, want to see me fail, want to see me end up in a ditch and not be able to get myself back up, that the obsession to succeed has pushed me to continually never fall into a safe zone. I've never fell into safe, ever. Even when I retired, I still worked. I started the phone accessory brand. I was doing all sorts of different stuff. Why? Because I needed to keep it going. I didn't want to feel comfortable. I have money in the bank, but I don't want to become that person who becomes complacent. Ever. I think it's the biggest mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's definitely... Oh my God, I've had a mind blank.
Good.
Okay, wait, 1-1.
Good. 1-1.
I can't believe... my voice. Okay.
P.S. Have you been to a nightclub? Like, listen to you.
No, I went to Coldplay last night and just like belched out too many. Yeah, sorry, guys.
Well, clearly you did.
Or you've been. Yeah,
I know. She's got a sexy voice on for me. Don't leave me in the room with her. You never know what could go on.
So, okay, timelines. Okay, so let's go back to the start. How did you? I know you've told this story so many times. Just
there's so many stories. So which one?
Well, I love that you were never PR trained. And
never. And that was the best thing for me.
Yeah. Because you figured it out and you had to do it differently.
Yes.
And do it your way, yeah.
Oh, I did it my way. There wasn't even a way. I just hit the ground. I had customers and I had to deliver. And so you figure out as you go.
And
never went to uni, nothing.
How did you go, I want to start my own agency? Because I do think starting a business back then is so much scarier than now. It's more it's much more normalized.
Oh, see, I disagree.
Oh, really?
I would never do it again today.
Really?
You would need your head red. No. No. When I started, remember I'm 44 now. I started when I was 24.
I started at 24, 23. Yeah.
Oh,
this business
she's showing off now.
No,
she was a year younger than me.
At 23. This show for 24.
Okay, let's start. We'll start with 24.
Yeah.
So I was given an opportunity. Von Dutch was a big brand at the time, and this particular distributor was bringing it in. And he was like, "Oh, I've seen what you're doing with Diesel, which was where I was working at the time. Would you like a job?" And I was like, "What do I need to leave this job for to take another job?" I was earning $25,000. I was pretty happy with myself. Imagine earning $25,000 now. What the do you even?
I know. My first salary was $25,000 too in accounting.
Imagine
in the Big Four, yeah.
In accounting?
Yeah.
Oh, you see, you're much smarter than me. You can add up. I can't. I was like, I don't really want to take a job. He goes, well, why don't you start your own business and I'll give you Von Dutch as your first client. So I did.
Wow.
The next day I gave my notice.
That's
the next
huge.
day and I started my business. So again, I was willing to take the risk, but I always use the analogy like if you go to the snow and you see a black run or a blue run or a green one, I don't know what the easiest one is. I took the black run. Yeah, okay. Well, I took the black run. Yeah. I can't ski, but from a business perspective, I took the black run. I quit my job. I took Von Dutch on and I was, you know what? I'm going to sink or I'm going to swim. And I was so obsessed with making my parents proud of me because I was such a student and a naughty girl that I was like, okay, I have to make this work. I have to make this work. So it was not even an option for it not to work. I made sure I was cheaper than everyone in the marketplace. I made sure I went to every event there was available to me. I was hungry.
Yeah.
Blonde hair, big tits, sells. Anyone who says sex sells, don't believe them.
And then when did you kind of go like, oh, I made it? Like, and what caused that? Like, how did you reach like?
When I went and bought an Aston Martin for cash. I remember it was like $380,000. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. He was like, would you like finance? I was like, no. No.
That's awesome.
You know, but as materialistic as it is, I mean, don't get me wrong, before I bought that, I bought, at 21, I'd bought an apartment in Double Bay. But that was from working part-time. Then I bought another house in Wallara, which I think was about 3.2 in those days. That, you know, that had a mortgage, obviously, but being able to actually buy and do and build my wealth was, for me, the biggest thing. Like, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Buying a Birkin bag as well. and a Balmain jacket. I remember this Balmain jacket was like $7,500, and I was like, "You've really made it."
You
dog."
made it.
Yeah, it was the ugliest thing under the sun, but hey, it was $7,500, and everyone knew.
Oh my God. I remember back then I was like, oh, I can get a designer bag or I can spend that money building an app.
Oh, of course, you built the app. The accountant built the app. You've got to remember, a whole part of my sell was if you looked at me, you saw success.
Yeah.
Because as a normal person out there, you see a Birkin, you see an Aston Martin, you see a Balmain jacket, and you're like, dead. She never graduated uni. She was a student at school. She just worked hard and she's been able to achieve it. So for me, part of the whole image thing was my PR.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I was PRing the dream.
Oh, you don't need to justify expenses to me.
Oh, okay. As she sits with a Christian Dior necklace around her neck and a Prada shoe.
Yes, I love your Prada shoes too.
Glad you noticed them, doll. I only put them on for you. Thought I'd slip into a Dior number rather than... I should have been in that white crochet. I saw a nice white crochet number downstairs.
Yes, take it.
Yeah, well. Note to self, PR girl needs to know that if someone's coming for the podcast, what should they be offered before they come to the podcast?
Ooh.
Showpo. To wear.
Showpo.
Hello.
Oh, we should. Oh my God. All right. Caitlin's like, approved.
Well, it should be.
We
okay.
should.
You have a YouTube channel.
But then do you think people feel pressured?
Well, let them give them the option.
Yeah.
It's not about pressuring them. It's about putting it out there. If they choose to take it,
That's true.
fantastic. If they choose not to, no problem either. But you've got them sitting here. You're looking from the waist up. Are you going to offer them something to wear?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. And of course. And
cost of the business is
And you know, people actually also like when people do, some people gift me products before they come on the show. I talk more passionately about their product.
Of course you would, because you knew about it.
Yeah.
Now, I never knew you had a crochet garment. That was a lovely item downstairs. First thing I did when I walked in the door was I picked it up. Now, you have someone sitting in your chair. The first PR mistake you've made is you haven't even sent me a product to wear.
Damn it. Okay. We'll get you.
PR 101, doll.
All right. Thank you. See, we're all learning.
You learned something today.
I learned something.
And you learned something today. And HR needs a stern talking
It's
to.
HR. Okay, we need a tally. Okay, you forgot what you said. I forgot one thing. I'm on 2 now. I'm on 2 mistakes.
And I'm going to say one other thing.
Yes.
I know it's your signature, but I hate the fact you call yourself lazy.
Oh, I've heard this. Yeah.
It actually pains me. Mm-hmm. It pains me.
It's because people have said that, and I win them back with this comment. It's because Bill Gates says, give someone who's lazy something to do and they'll find an efficient way to do it.
I don't care. He's Bill Gates.
I don't think I'm saying that right.
I am not happy that you have that aligned with your name. It's not fact. Being lazy is something not to be proud of.
I know. I'm not even lazy. What should we rebrand to like I want to be like the startup show or something, but we're not startups. But like just something more.
Remove this word. Remove that
CEO.
word. No, the lazy.
Yeah, so then we just be
Stick
the CEO.
well, something else in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll call myself the sexy
Who does
CEO.
their own hair? I don't. Nor my own makeup.
I know. I'm so sad with my hair. Normally looks better.
No, you look nice. Don't worry. I'm just being. No, she's not humble. She's sitting in a flat towel. Okay, stop sucking up.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to it.
Tell me what. Okay, so since then you've started a bunch of businesses. Like, when do you see? But you must have so many business ideas, right? Like I do, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, how do you know what you're going to launch, what you're not going to do? How do you know when to close something down? Like, how, you know?
Well, you close it when it's not profitable.
All right. Yeah.
And you're spending too much time on it, and that time that you're spending on it is being taken away from the time of the business that's profitable.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Cost.
You know, like for me, it made much more sense for me to dedicate my time on Ministry of Talent, the digital agency, than it did being a content creation agency. If I can't make money and it's pulling my time away from the profitable business, what the am I doing? In terms of new stuff, I mean, look, I'm always doing little bits and pieces, but that's just because I like being busy. Someone said to me yesterday, what's your hobby? And I was like, emailing.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. I said, I suppose diamond dots. I think it was like, well, how old are you?
What's diamond dots?
it's like tapestry kind of.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you buy it in Spotlight. It's not going to be your jam. I am 44, close to 50. So basically, look, I'm always looking at things to do. One thing I have learned is I don't like partnerships. I'm not good in partnerships. It's my way or the highway. If I don't think it's kosher, I'm not going to do it or sweep it under the rug. Partnerships are not my thing. I think you have to be a very different human to me to be able to work in a partnership environment. I'm very forthright. I call a spade, as I've said before. It's very hard to have a partnership. And there's so many that fail. I was looking at, I Googled like what makes a successful partnership. It's hard. Like the percentage of failures is like marriages and divorces.
How many businesses are like together. Even going to Coldplay, my 28 years you guys have been together. Jesus.
Probably hate each other.
Yeah.
You do realise that, don't you?
Yeah. Staying together for the moment.
I always remember one of my first clients from Ministry of Talent, they all hate us. Tash Sefton and Elle Ferguson. And they hated each other.
Right.
I don't know why they called it they all hate us.
Yeah.
They hated each other.
Right.
It's very hard. And that's just not my thing. I'm very much a standalone, get it done, take the risks.
I think I love partnerships because I bounce better off people and it makes me move quicker. I know, because I've had business partners. I actually had a business partner for ShowPro.
Did you?
Yeah, for the first year. Our first year it
lasted for a year.
Yeah, and we were not doing that well. We were making $5,000 a month. That's like 1 or 2 orders a day.
Yeah.
And I bought ShowPro off her for $20,000, which was like all the money I had back then. And so ShowPro's last valuation is $40,000 for the record. Anyway, the next month, doubled in sales. And then after that, doubled in sales.
Yes.
Within 5 months, we were like on $1 million run rate. But it's like, I feel like I need maybe a business partner to get things kicked off. Otherwise, maybe it's my fear of failure.
Well, your husband works here. He could be a business partner.
Yeah, I feel like he is but he doesn't, we don't have the creative bounce off. That's what I think
No, you don't. No, you don't. You've got a whole team out there. Get them here 5 days a week, not 2 days a week.
And be like, guys, bounce.
Well, it's true. That's why I need to be in an environment with people. For me, I
do think so because the difference, sorry to cut you off, but like the team, I think the difference before COVID, I was more like the same age as everyone. We're together 5 days. So much more collaboration. Now, everyone is like...
Yeah, but that's your fault.
Much
You're
younger
the boss.
but everyone's much younger
Doesn't
than
make
me.
a difference.
And I think the business has grown bigger that everyone just presents ideas to me. There's no brainstorm.
But you're not together. You're not on the floor with them. Where's your desk?
Pardon?
Where's your desk?
No, I sit with everyone.
Yeah, but 2 days a week.
Yeah. I've never had a corner office.
Me neither. I had one, just and giggles, so I could look like a baller. Never sat in there.
Yeah.
I sat on that floor from the minute they walked in the door to the minute they walked out the door.
Yeah. I mean, that
the
was me.
only way to work the team is with the team. And I'm sorry, I don't believe in this home. Sorry.
Well, I'm too lazy now to come in there.
Well, no, you're not. Stop using that word.
There you go, the lazy.
She's sacked.
I get so much more done on the days at home, though.
Oh, my God. Will you stop?
I swear to God.
Yeah, I'm sure not.
I don't get anything done during the workday. I will literally, if I was to write down what I do, I mince around. I go and chat to everyone. Like, I just, like, mince around the office. And I make some content. And then it's lunchtime.
I think I need to be your boss, doll. Lunch. Who eats lunch? One
Should
meal a
I
day,
do
doll.
Work experience week. I mean, that's probably like...
No. I'll come in here and do work experience with you.
With Roxy Jacenko. That could be like, my, childhood dreams. That could be like... Yes. That could be a TV show.
I was just about to say.
Oh, tell me about your TV experience.
Oh, there's been a few, doll.
I know. Did you
Celebrity Apprentice. No, I hated everyone, but it was... They were all stepping stones.
Yeah.
The publicist, what has she done? She's done Celebrity Apprentice.
Tell me what was the worst thing about Celebrity Apprentice to make me feel better about not doing it. Oh, really?
Didn't take me long to she was just rude. I have a real problem with people who are rude to other people. Like when you're in a restaurant and someone speaks with rudeness to the staff who are working in a venue. I've got like a real problem with that. Treat everyone with respect. And just because you're a cast member and the people on set are staff, treat them as how are we any different?
Yeah.
We're just the mugs who want to be famous who are doing the show.
Yeah.
It's not about, that we're a better person or we're more important. So
I think it's because we've been also there. Like I'm like, you're the hot chick at checkout. I'm like that loser teenager.
But at least you could
at drive-through.
Hang on. You could count the change.
Yeah.
I used to give the
I
wrong
was
change
so
to everyone.
quick. And I
couldn't do the
really
change.
good at like, for 60 cents you can upsize. Like I was
I
good at
was
that.
not upselling. I was taking phone numbers, doll.
Damn it.
Lamborghini comes through. Datsun comes through. Roxy takes a Lamborghini number.
I mean, that is brilliant. I feel like I'm making money for McDonald's. I'm just employee of the month.
Yeah, well, that's because you're the accountant background.
Yeah.
Please, I can't add up.
Yeah.
I could take phone numbers only.
And your own show, like that would have been incredible.
So no, look, that was part of Pilot Week with Channel 10. Mm-hmm. It was the best. It was the highest rated in history.
Yeah, the numbers were great.
Yeah. But look, you know what? It was never really. I always just wanted to make money. I did all of those things to be that one girl that everyone remembered. But the one girl that everyone remembered for actually having a job. Not for having my legs behind my ears and having a sex tape, for having a job and being successful at my job.
You know what? I remember going to the Logies for the first time and I was like, wow, I'm here. I mean, and so many people were like there, like so much respect for acting and all of that and like being and lots of beautiful people. But I'm like, I'm here because of my business. Like, isn't that, I can't
And
believe
that's what my thing was. It wasn't about fame. It wasn't about opening the newspaper. I didn't want to be in the social pages. I wanted the stories to be about, oh, wow, she did this. Not she went there, she did this. So that was the whole aim. That was why I did the Celebrity Apprentice. That's why I've done the books, because it shows that you actually started and finished something. You achieved it. I never achieved uni. I couldn't even in. So for me, it was, how did I get to those pages? Because of taking the risks within my business, because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to change the way people were doing what I did, or what I do again now.
What's one big misconception people have about you?
I think that I'm not approachable and I'm not kind. I think, yes, I want the job done. I want the job done well, as any employer will say to you. You don't have a bum on a seat with a pulse to be mediocre. Anyone who is in my business, I want to excel. I want to take you from the intern to be able to be a senior publicist, or from the intern to be a senior talent booker. I'm not mean. We have a job to do. We are put on this earth for a short time and for a good time. Do your best. I am approachable. Am I a hard taskmaster? Yes, I am, because I don't want you to come to me and be mediocre. I want you to come to me and be deadly. I know every single person who puts Sweaty Betty or Ministry of Talent on their CV will go for a job interview and they'll get the job. Why? Because they know that I will train from the ground up, and whatever you get out of me is someone who will give 110%, not 50%. Because of that, the misconception would be I'm a bitch. I'm not a bitch. I want you to do well. So in order for you to do well, I have to be the person who just doesn't go, let me pat you on the back.
Yeah, participation award, yes.
Yeah, I participation, and that pisses me off about school now, that there's no first, second and third prize in the running race.
Really?
I want you to want to get first. If you get fifth, it doesn't matter, but at least have the desire to get to first. So I'm pushy, I'm hard, but I'm kind and I'll back you.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. We have a 4-year-old and we never realized except when we went to Bali and we were in a kids club, he's like at that age where he can play a board game. We played snakes and ladders. And as soon as he went down the snake, he went, I don't want to play anymore. Wah. And I'm like, oh my God, this child doesn't know how to lose. And then we're like, and he's so smart. We're like, we need to gaslight him and like get him to lose more.
Yes.
Trip him over a little bit. Like otherwise he's not going to be tough.
Yes.
He can't deal with the real world.
And you have to be tough because the world is f***ing cruel.
Yes. Personal branding. I personally never set out to have a personal brand, but because Showpro started just retailing other brands, that's not PR worthy at all. So then I found that the only thing that was PR worthy was the startup story. And then that's when wow, I was like, being an Asian female, finally paying off. This is great. How did you set out building your personal brand, and what advice do you give other people?
My angle was that I was 24. That I was a 24-year-old girl in a space that was very dominated by much more mature people, number one. Number two, that I wasn't uni trained. People loved the underdog. People loved the fact that she's young, she's giving it a crack. She never went to uni, she wasn't trained formally. So that was my angle, that was my sell. I'm 24, I'm hungry, I'll work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, I'm always on call. Blackberries came out, of course I had one. Why? Because I knew I would be the only girl who would answer 24 hours a day. That was my whole sell. 24, not trained, took the risk, and was going to be half the price of everybody else.
When did you think you went from the underdog to getting like the tall poppy experience?
It didn't take long, like a year.
Yeah.
Everyone hated me in the business. Everyone hated me. They hated me, my competitors, because I was so hungry and failure was not an option. They hated me because I would take risks that they've been in business for 30 years. They wouldn't have even dreamt of doing what I was doing. I was down on Bondi doing stunts, giving fake names to the rangers, getting fines, not even having to fucking pay them. And my clients were loving life. All of a sudden there was this breath of fresh air. They could have done it, but they didn't want to take the risk. They didn't want to go, oh, well, it's Saturday. I don't really want to work. Saturday and Sunday I was down there. I was driving. Actually, I'm not going to tell the idea I was about to tell because I'm going to do it. Remind me about the bollards. Anyway, the fact of the matter is I see every space as an opportunity for branding, exposure, and I'll find a way to make it happen. No one wanted to do that. No one wanted to take the risks. No one wanted the fines. I'll do it. So they hated me. Didn't take long, and they still hate me.
And so, wait, and how do you deal with being like in so much spotlight and scrutiny?
I don't care.
Yeah.
It makes me want more.
Yeah.
It makes me want, it actually makes me go, okay, well, you hate me that much now. Just wait what I've got in store for you. I don't care.
I get driven by spite as well.
Yes, I love it. I'm like, these people write shop my thing and I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, doll. You've just fired me up for the day.
Oh. Okay, wait, you've done so much. What is actually next on your bucket list, like personally and professionally?
I hate that question. I haven't even had breakfast yet. I don't even know what's for lunch and you're asking me what's next for me. Probably to get these hair extensions taken out.
I also hate that question. I don't know either.
Because everyone can say you're supposed to ask that question. I don't know. I don't ever have a 5-year plan. I don't have a tomorrow plan. I take today as today and I have to divide and conquer. Nothing else. Forget plans, forget budgets, forget to-do lists. If you've got a to-do list, you're dead to me. Just do, don't write.
Oh.
No.
I know what you mean. No.
Like,
I know what you mean.
can't.
There's people that we have Asana. And then they create an Asana task. I'm like,
what's that?
It's like
oh, here we go.
It's like an organization board.
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
like, you could have just done it by the time it
you
was
wrote
in Asana.
It. Don't even.
I'm like,
don't
oh
even.
my goodness.
Don't even.
Just do it. I get it.
I can't. So what's tomorrow? Every opportunity that comes my way, I take. You said to me, do I want to do this? I never do this ever. No one needs to hear my voice. But I did it. Why? Because you're very current at the moment and because I've got something to push. I'm in PR again.
Yes,
okay,
she's
so
back.
I use this as a platform. All of a sudden, that chick's back.
Yes.
So I would never do this kind of stuff, but you use every opportunity that comes your way. If it's a fit, you take the chance.
Okay, final question. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Okay, what's the best advice that you've received?
Stop talking.
Surely not.
Look,
that's your secret. Oh, I have a better question. What's your superpower? No, answer both. I want both. I'm milking you while you're here.
Yeah, okay. So what's the best advice? Look, I think debtors list is such an important one. It's such a random one, but I remember when I first started my business, I was invoicing out of Word. I wasn't invoicing in an MYOB or a Xero. And when you invoice in Word, obviously you've got no way to see who's paid and who hasn't paid. And I had a debtors list that was as long as my arm. People just basically weren't paying their retainers. And it got to a point where a couple of businesses went belly up and I obviously lost the money that they owed me. So number one, debtors list. Don't become, yes, I'm the face of the business. Yes, I work the business. I'm ignorant in terms of the financials of the business because I don't know numbers. I got like 14 out of 100 in math. So, but what I get every single week on a Wednesday is I get a debtors list. Not on a fancy piece of paper, but just a list of the clients who haven't paid and how many days out they are from when they were supposed to pay. Why? Because you need to know what's coming in. It's all well and good for it to be going out, but if it's not coming in, you're f***ed. And then my other question that you asked me is, what's my superpower? Fuck. I can talk the talk and I can walk the walk.
You work hard.
Not that hard at the moment. It's quite weird. I feel
share
like
the title.
I'm having a lazy next to my name. Like, truly, I'm going to come with a Sharpie and scrub it out.
Oh my God, she's going to graffiti our room.
No, like, seriously.
And she knows which days we're not here. She's just going to bring in.
Yeah, well, you are here from next week. You're 5 days a week.
Clocking in.
No, I'm not being funny. That is my one tip to you. I don't get this business of not being there. Be in there, be the train driver, drive the train. I don't care if you get a lot done when you're at home. You can't drive the train with an arm's length approach. You're rich now. Imagine how you could be.
If everyone's working hard.
Wow.
No, I mean, I'll think about it, maybe.
Not think about it. Do
Some
it.
people are here on Thursday. No, we got shoots on
I'm talking
Tuesdays
about
and
you.
Thursdays. Oof.
On that note, I'm out.
On that note, thank you, Roxy. It's been
Pleasure.
great. Thank you so much.